Hey everybody, welcome back to Video Game. Today I got a fun and exciting video for you guys today because we're playing the alpha demo of Razing Core by BadComputer with music by Polaria Poyan. And to say the Master System is doing some heavy lifting here would be an understatement. This honestly feels like a PC Engine game or even an early Sega Genesis game graphically. And big marks are actually giving you the demonstration menu controllable so you can kind of navigate around and see how all of the controls work before you actually jump into this demo. It's a really smart, fun touch, and I love the Master System controller down there in the bottom left hand corner. Let's jump right into the game and run the demo from start to finish. And right off the top, the overall scrolling speed, all of the sprites on screen with the bullets, this is stuff that you really didn't think the Master System might be able to pull off. There is going to be a tiny bit of slowdown here and there that might be fixed up by the actual release version, or it might be part and parcel of how the Master System is running this game. But honestly, I get big PC Engine vibes from this as far as the graphics are concerned, as well as the amount of sprites being pushed around, because the Master System is not some big horsepower console. Obviously, it was Sega's first attempt to hit the North American market after the SG-1000, and it definitely didn't get as much love here as it did in other regions, but there are still fans out there, and BadComputer absolutely excels when it comes to coding for the Master System. The last game of theirs I reviewed, Psychic Force, I said was a straight up Master System 10 out of 10, and had it released back in the day would have reviewed and been on a list of some of the best Master System games of all time. Razing Core is definitely getting extremely close to that same status, even if it is a demo, because I would say here the overall shooting mechanics, the graphical aesthetics, the music really have a great vibe to them, and if it honestly reminded me of anything, maybe Alpha Mission 2 on Neo Geo, but of course graphically downgraded from there. But honestly, it doesn't matter how good the graphics are and how much above its own punching weight this game is running on the Master System. If the gameplay mechanics and core shmup competencies aren't there, it really doesn't matter how pretty the game is, it's not going to be fun. The good thing is Razing Core absolutely nails it when it comes to the mechanics of a shmup. Now, as far as the gameplay is concerned, you have your shot button. If you hold it down, you're going to go into a rapid fire shot. And if you let go of all the buttons, you're going to get a circular sphere basically rotating around your ship. That will do damage to enemies, and it'll do damage, it seems, quicker. But of course, that is the risk versus reward system because you're much closer to the projectiles and having a lot less time to react. If you take a look at the bottom right hand corner of the screen, you're going to see that power up meter says 4. If you press both buttons at the same time, you're basically going to get your powered up attack. Kind of functions like a bomb, but it is more of an offensive weapon, less a defensive weapon. And of course, you get your ship count as well, because this is just a demo. There are no continues. You just have to run the game from start to finish, but the demo is going to last all of about 5 minutes. But as a proof of concept of a good shmup on the Master System, this is just a straight up 10 out of 10. I love the aesthetics, I love the mechanics, and I love that you can get this much performance out of an actual Master System. And you can play this on real hardware, you can play it on software emulation, of course you can play it on MiSTer FPGA as well. It's been tested across all three. The only wrong way to play this demo is not to check it out, and I 100% want to see this turned into a complete game, because honestly the dev here just absolutely kills it when it comes to the Master System, and there are a decent amount of toolsets out there now for Master System development. And before you ask me why Sega gets all the modern toolsets and Nintendo, the NES and SNES doesn't seem to get as many, I don't know either. Just one of those things. Sega fans have made brand new SDKs and tools to be able to develop for Sega hardware in a more modern era, all the way from Master System up through Dreamcast. I think the only thing that doesn't have a more robust toolset at this point in time is Sega Saturn. That's still being worked on. But you'll see here in the first boss phase, we've taken him down, and now the screen is going to turn to black because we're going to get an absolutely massive sprite on screen. This would be big even for the Sega Genesis and impressive, but the fact that it's on the Master System is absolutely wild. And of course, you will see the screen does go to black, probably from a technical limitation standpoint, but you have a ton of bullets on screen. You have the sprites on screen at the same time, and everything's basically running at 60 frames per second. That is absolutely impressive for the Master System because, again, it is not the most powerful hardware out there, but BadComputer just seems to have an absolute stranglehold on the overall Master System architecture and how to get the best improvement out of it, because honestly this is impressive every day of the week and twice on Sundays. And I do love the bullet patterns here as well. They are quite impressive. But we're going to go to the soundtrack sample time, because as good as this game looks, as good as it plays, and as technically impressive as it is, the soundtrack marries up perfectly to the visuals and gameplay and really gives you a ton of fun. So go ahead and listen for 45 seconds. I'll come back, show you a harder run through with a faster ship, and talk about Psychic Force, the dev's other amazing Master System game. Awesome upbeat space style soundtrack that just absolutely works with the overall visuals and aesthetic on display here, and that really is the thing about BadComputer's games, the musicians they work with, and the overall games they create on the Master System. They feel like fully realized products that have every single component of the aesthetics of the music, the graphics, and the gameplay married together to make something that feels very intentional, because that's the type of thing you might play a lot of fan games out there, and a ton are really good, but it is quite rare in my opinion where the music 100% is married perfectly to the overall aesthetic vibe of the game. That music in conjunction with this space setting just works. If we move over to Frontier Force, it seems like BadComputer definitely has a certain vibe going on in their Master System games, because this is a futuristic game set in a distant world, but you can 100% see how you go from Frontier Force to something like Razing Core, because even though the color palette here is brighter, it still has a lot of the same aesthetic, even if the genre is a single screen shmup a la something like Space Invaders versus Razing Core, which is traditional horizontal shmup. But it's fun to see a developer kind of carry that personality through multiple games on the same hardware when it comes to actually taking advantage of the Master System hardware and just putting up some absolutely incredible fun games to play that look visually stunning. BadComputer just seems to know this hardware probably better than even developers at Sega did back in the day. And even though this is a video on Razing Core, I just wanted to remind you that Frontier Force is out, and I will leave links in the description below both to this game as well as Razing Core, so you can check them out today whether you have a real Master System or not. Leave me a comment down below. I'm always curious, did you play Master System back in the day, and do you own one? This was a little bit before my time hardware wise. I basically got my gaming start on the Sega Genesis as well as the Super Nintendo. But moving back over to Razing Core, again we're going to beat the boss this time and show you how this demo ends. And I love this smooth scaling on all of the background assets as well. The basic idea of the overall viewport, it feels like it's almost isometric in spots because you get a nice sense of depth, almost like a 45-degree angle, just with how those background layers work in the overall shading. So it really does draw your eye in, and what you're seeing below you does feel like it is below you at a distance. And as far as all the weapons are concerned, there's going to be multiple different variants, multiple different power-ups. Some are going to be spread shots, others are going to be homing attacks. You kind of have to decide what works for you. I would say in this initial stage, this blue orb right here that's basically going out as a V, as we have the main shot in the middle, seems to be the best for the boss and pretty decent for the stage as well, because you're going to have to move left and right pretty regularly to make sure you hit absolutely everything. But we're going to do one more soundtrack sample because again I absolutely love the music in this game. It is just a straight up 10 out of 10 and definitely should be commended. So go ahead and listen to the boss theme here for about 35 seconds and I'll be right back with more. You leave me a comment down below and you tell me what you think of the music, but for me it absolutely works in the context of what this game is trying to be, and it really does get me excited to see more of this game actually come out. Now as far as how long it's going to take the developer to finish this, I have absolutely no idea. Could be next month, could be next year, could be something that they just decide they don't want to finish the game and want to pick something else up. Nothing in life is guaranteed when it comes to fan games, but the actual developer, this BadComputer, seems to always deliver, so I would highly anticipate Razing Core is going to see the finish line as well. And I hope somebody contacts the developer and actually tries to get a small run of real cartridges made, not on the bootleg market, but actually partnering with the dev so they make a little bit of cash off this as well, because this is the type of thing I'd absolutely put on my shelf next to other Master System games and just take it down every once in a while and play an absolutely outstanding shmup on the Master System. But really this is just a masterclass in technical achievement in coding, because what you're seeing here is just absolutely pushing the Master System to its limit, and it really does feel more like a PC Engine game, or like I said earlier, even a first gen launch day Sega Genesis or Mega Drive game. But you leave me a comment down below, you tell me what you think, and again the link for this as well as Frontier Force are in the description, and I can't recommend them enough. But we're done, I'll see you next time. Bye bye.